Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are going on an absolutely incredible journey. We're going to pop the hood on the most amazing machine you'll ever own, your own body. We're going to see exactly how its engine works. Okay, let's dive right in. So just think about it for a second. The mere thought of your favorite food, maybe a slice of pizza or a warm cookie, can make your mouth water. But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens after you take that first bite? Where does it go? It doesn't just vanish, it's actually the start of something amazing. That single bite of food you just took, it's about to start an epic journey through a winding 9-meter-long processing plant inside you. 9 meters! That is roughly the height of a 3-story building, all coiled up inside your body. It's basically a biological factory, designed to break down and absorb everything you eat. So in this explainer, we're going to follow two heroes' journeys. First, the path that your food takes, and second, the path of a single breath of air. And then we're going to see the exact moment where these two paths cross to create the energy that powers, well, everything you do. All right, let's start with part 1, the incredible food journey. This whole adventure kicks off the very second that food passes your lips. First stop is the mouth. Your teeth go to work, acting like crushers, grinding the food into smaller bits. Then it's pushed down your esophagus by this amazing wave-like muscle movement. And finally, it lands in the stomach, which is this muscular bag that's ready to churn and mix everything up. And let's talk about saliva for a second. You ever notice if you chew on something starchy, like a piece of plain bread or some rice, for a little while, it starts to taste sweet? That is not in your head. That's your saliva. It's got these digestive juices that start breaking down complex starches into simple sugars right away. Digestion literally starts before you even swallow. Okay, let's keep going. From the mouth, our food travels deeper into the main processing centers of the body, the stomach, and then the intestines. Now, the stomach is so much more than just a holding pouch. Think of it like a biological cement mixer. Its muscular walls squeeze and relax, churning the food around and mixing it with this cocktail of really powerful secretions to keep that breakdown process going. And these secretions are a brilliant team. You've got acid that basically sterilizes your food, killing nasty bacteria and starting to dissolve proteins. But wait, how does the stomach not digest itself with all that acid? Well, that's where the mucus comes in, creating a protective barrier. And all the while, other digestive juices are working hard, turning big proteins into smaller, simpler bits. It's just a perfectly balanced system. You know, it seems so obvious to us now, but for the longest time, what actually happened in the stomach was a total mystery. In fact, our first real glimpse inside was a complete accident. Back in 1822, a man named Alexis St. Martin was accidentally shot, and the wound left a permanent hole in his stomach. This gave a doctor, William Bowman, a literal window into digestion, letting him watch the whole process in real time. It's amazing how science sometimes moves forward in the most unexpected ways. Okay, so after the stomach, food enters the small intestine. And if you think it's called small because it's short, you are in for a surprise. If you were to uncoil an adult's small intestine, it would be a staggering 6 meters long. That's almost twice the height of a typical classroom. Just incredible. All that length provides a massive surface area for the main event, absorbing nutrients. But the small intestine doesn't go it alone. It has some critical helpers. The liver sends in bile to deal with fats. The pancreas sends in juices to finish breaking down carbs, proteins, and fats. And the wall of the intestine itself adds its own juices, while these tiny finger-like villi absorb all those good nutrients into your bloodstream. Okay, so our body has done an amazing job breaking down food into fuel, specifically a simple sugar called glucose. But fuel is pretty useless without a spark, right? That spark comes from our second hero's journey, a single breath of air. First, let's clear something up that a lot of people get confused. Breathing and respiration, they are not the same thing. Breathing is the physical part, the in and out movement of air. Respiration,
That's the chemical reaction happening deep inside your cells, where oxygen is actually used to unlock the energy from your food.
So how does that oxygen get to your cells? Well, the journey starts in your nostrils, where tiny hairs and mucus act as a filter. From there, the air travels down your windpipe, which branches into smaller and smaller tubes deep inside your lungs, finally ending up in millions of tiny, balloon-like sacs called the alveoli. This is the destination. And what drives all this? It's a really elegant mechanical pump. When you breathe in, your ribs lift up and out, and your diaphragm muscle pulls down. This makes your chest cavity bigger, creating a vacuum that just sucks air in. When you breathe out, everything reverses. The space shrinks and air gets pushed out. Go ahead, try it right now. Take a deep breath. Feel your chest expand? That's your engine at work.
All right, we followed the food to get fuel. We followed the air to get oxygen. This is it. This is the climax of our story. This is the moment where those two journeys finally meet.
This chart is the proof. It shows exactly what's happening. Just look at the difference between the air you breathe in and the air you breathe out. We're taking in air that's about 21% oxygen, but we're exhaling air that's only about 16.5% oxygen. Where did it go? At the same time, we're exhaling way more carbon dioxide than we took in. This is the great exchange. Your body takes the good stuff and gets rid of the waste.
And here is the reason why. This right here, this is the magic formula for life itself. Inside every single one of your cells, the glucose from your food combines with the oxygen from your breath. This chemical reaction, cellular respiration, produces three things: carbon dioxide, which you breathe out, some water, and the most important thing of all, energy. The energy that lets you walk, talk, think, live.
Of course, we humans aren't the only ones with this amazing internal engine. The same basic processes are adapted in all sorts of fascinating ways across the animal kingdom, all to solve different challenges in their environments. Take a cow, for instance. A cow lives on tough grass, which is packed with something called cellulose that our simple stomach just can't handle. So what's its solution? A complex, multi-chambered stomach that works like a fermentation tank. It digests the grass a bit, then brings it back up to chew on again, that's called rumination, to really break it down and squeeze out every last nutrient. It's a masterful design for a tough diet. And breathing is just as varied. It all comes down to where you live. While mammals and birds use lungs to get oxygen from the air, fish use these intricate gills to pull it out of the water. An earthworm? It just breathes through its moist skin. And then you have frogs, who are just total transformers. They start with gills as tadpoles, then grow lungs and learn to breathe through their skin as adults. Talk about having the best of both worlds. Learning how this whole intricate engine works is, I think, just fascinating. But it brings up a really important and practical question. Now that we know all this, how can we actually take better care of it? How do we keep this system running smoothly for a lifetime? Well, the great news is you don't need a massive overhaul to keep your engine tuned. It's the simple things. Eating fiber-rich foods helps everything move along smoothly. Practicing mindful eating respects your stomach's limits. And taking deep, conscious breaths helps fully power up your cells. It's not about huge, grand gestures. It's about small, consistent habits that honor the incredible machine that you get to live in. So the next time you eat a meal or even just take a breath, maybe take a second to remember the amazing journey taking place inside you.